Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at 4. We are down to less than 8 hours until thousands of United Auto workers could walk off the assembly line and go on strike.
We've been following this big story for weeks, and right now contract talks are down to the wire. Karen Campbell joins us live from Kokomo as workers and the community brace for potential impact. Karen?
Hey, Felicia, Dustin, bargaining teams, they are continuing sitting at the table as we speak before this midnight deadline to establish a new contract. Before that deadline comes. Now, I spoke with the region director of 2B of UAW, and he tells me that they're doing everything they can to work on a solution. Now, he gave me some numbers. He said there are about 12,000 UAW members that work for the big three automakers across Indiana. He didn't have specific numbers for Kokomo, but he said the majority of those workers are right here in Kokomo. Now, members, we know they held a rally yesterday at a park in Kokomo calling for fair pay. If there is no deal by midnight, 11:59 to be exact, leaders say they will begin what's called a targeted strike at specific facilities. They say that a lot of thought has gone into which locations are going to strike and when. So we know a couple of their terms. They're asking for a 46% pay increase over 4 years and a 32-hour work week. And Green says that they just want what's fair for their members in an economy that is not keeping pace with their income. So Dustin, Felicia, we know that right now both sides have less than 8 hours to come to an agreement.
Yeah, and union workers, some of them we've heard from say they're not surprised that we're to this point because the gap is so large between what they're asking for and what's been offered. Karen, do we know how many Hoosier auto workers could be impacted by this strike?
Yeah, well, Dustin, we know thousands, right? I mentioned the region 2B director talked about like 12,000 of their members work around Indianapolis at these big three automakers. But again, we don't have specifics for here in Kokomo, but he also tells us that 6,000 of those workers work in those independent parts and suppliers units. So those are the people that actually make the, parts that go inside of the vehicle. So, I mean, we are talking thousands that are going to be impacted.
All right, Karen, and how long do they anticipate the automakers being on strike?
Well, that is another question that is unclear right now because it could last, a couple of hours. It could last many weeks. Right now, we just don't know. That will be left up to those negotiators. Again, they have until 11:59 tonight to come to some kind of agreement to avoid this strike.
All right. Karen Campbell reporting live from Kokomo. Thank you so much. Just a tough situation all the way around. Nobody wins when we strike, especially consumers.